and now hasn't looked back since. I also found out last week he's got 3 black belts, but like most people who could easily kick my ass, he's one of the nicer people I know. So please help me welcome Sean Hinton from SkyHive.
Thanks, Mikhail. There are 4 factors of production that drive the world economy: land, labor, capital, and enterprise. And we're constantly trying to find ways to improve these factors of production. As a result, we're moving into a 4th industrial revolution that can be best defined as the deepening of the relationship between humanity and machines for the purposes of production. With this deepening of the relationship, we're facing a lot of challenges, especially related to the workforce. It is estimated that over the next 10 years, 1 billion jobs will be impacted as a result of the implications of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Everyone is out trying to find solutions to help guide the workforce through this time of turbulence. When looking at the study of human capital, we have to find a common denominator in order to drive a solution. We know what aren't common denominators. We know that education, work experience, language, gender, wage rates, these are not common denominators. They're subject to bias and they're subject to inefficiencies. The common denominator that drives the measurement of human capital is competency. Competency, or skills, are what workers bring into the workforce and what companies apply to production. We're obviously trying to find ways to constantly improve this efficiency in order to grow the bottom line of our companies and therefore longer-term economic development. Academics and companies have been really good at inventorying skills. We know what occupational skills profiles are. We know the occupational skills of workers based on their experience. But the computing power and data science was never at a stage to allow us to go to a much more granular level and begin to apply those competencies, correlating across the labor market to find efficiencies throughout the path of human capital and workforce planning. This is what we do at SkyHive. Think of us like the traffic control system for the movement through the workforce. We identify bottlenecks and inefficiencies based on competency, and we apply artificial intelligence to removing those bottlenecks. This allows workers to go more quickly through the workforce and allows employers to find resources faster. It represents a drastic compression of workforce flow that represents a significant amount of savings over time. This wasn't available before because technology wasn't available in order for us to do that. But taking this even further, SkyHive spends a lot of time on a new form of human production. This is the digital labor market. The digital labor market is growing exponentially. There are 6 demand drivers to that digital labor market, things like crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, microcredit, microfinance, digital supply chains, and it represents a new form of human production that we know very little about. There's been very little studies on what implications this has for the world. But why is it important? Over the next 5 years, 100% of the world's population is forecasted to be online. That represents an additional 4 billion entrants to the global labor market. So if we can figure out how to find efficiencies in the digital labor market, we can provide people who are otherwise physically restricted with the opportunity to participate in the global labor market for their own livelihood. We've developed an economic theory that proves that the development of a digital labor market overlapping the physical labor market in areas of insurgency and natural disaster actually stimulates the physical labor market, meaning that we can use technology to help guide the physical economic development and labor market development within communities that are at most risk. If proven successful, and we're doing a project, we intend to do a project later this year in Syria, with working with the Canadian government. If proven successful, This will revolutionize the deployment of humanitarian aid as it relates to livelihood and training access on the ground. We know from the previous 3 industrial revolutions that we're going to face a lot of challenges, but we also know that coming out on the other side of an industrial revolution leaves the world a much better place. SkyHive is building advanced technologies to support workers, governments, and companies to help navigate the process of the future of work and help support and continue to help humanity thrive as we go through these changes. Thank you.